Welcome to episode 32, Go Team USA. I'm your host, Sean Rigsby. Joining me today is my co-host, my partner in crime, Christopher Yandle.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Chris.
It's good to be back with you. It's the first time we've done one in a few weeks.
Yeah.
How's life?
I mean, let all these women get in the way, you know what I'm saying?
I think they did a phenomenal job, and we should take some notes and learn from them.
Is that how you feel?
That is how I feel.
That was great having what was it, last two? We had Sierra and Taylor, and then you had Sarah on the last episode.
Yep.
So good to get some other perspectives. People are probably tired of us.
For sure. I got a lot of texts.
Really?
Hey, like Sarah's got a phenomenal voice. Has she done voice acting?
Yeah.
And then just getting like her perspective as someone who trains in a completely different atmosphere than what we have here.
Okay.
So it's just neat to see some small things that we could learn from the boutique style.
The boutique fitness.
Yeah. So today, should we do our rants first?
USA.
Okay, let's go right into it. So yesterday was the February 19th.
Yeah.
The women played Canada in the gold match. Dude.
Our old adversary.
Break it down, because like it was like the women's U.S. hockey team is dominant.
Thank you for joining us on the Training Partners podcast today, which is now a hockey Olympics podcast. All right. Today we will be discussing hybrid training, I guess, so people know. Let's do that. So stick around. Hybrid training, and it's not just that doesn't just mean high rocks. That's not what we're talking about.
Yep.
But we will get to that. But first, we got to talk about the Olympics. It's the fucking Winter Olympics. Come on.
I think every podcast we start off with what topics are hot and prevalent right now. And the Olympics, your sport, weightlifting, is an Olympic sport.
Yep.
My sport, high rocks, is trying to become
gonna be an Olympic sport.
They're taking steps. So like, I think that's like outside of our sports. That's probably the second most important thing is talking about Olympics.
Probably, man.
So I think this is a very okay rant.
Fine. Yeah.
The second rant I have is not okay, but we will still discuss it.
Okay.
So break it down. The women, they are like the most dominant hockey. They shouldn't have been challenged, if we're being honest.
This was the most dominant display of hockey, probably men or women's, in the history of like hockey at the Olympics, at least in the modern era, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some like 1930s kind of performances where no one else played hockey and Canada did or something like that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But no, this was ridiculous. They were unscored on. Like for a very, very long period of time, stacked up at least 5 goals against every team, and then made it really, really dramatic. Didn't score for majority of the game for all but the final 2 minutes.
I think it was 2 minutes and 5 seconds to be exact.
Yeah. So that hats off to Canada. Like I was watching it, they're playing out of their head, man. They stifled every opportunity. They were very physical. I was like, man, we got to get to overtime so you can open up the ice a little bit, because in Olympic hockey you go down players, so there's more room to move, and that's ended up being basically how the goal got scored. But Canada played amazing, and then that was pretty heart-wrenching, that shorthanded goal. Like we're on a power play, like it's time to score a goal, and then we give up a goal instead. It was like that ain't it.
That ain't it.
But
it was fun to watch. I was in here. I think we were all in here. You were in here working.
I was in here and you were over there. Yeah.
I was working out, watching it, and it was a cool moment.
I was like mid-teams meetings at my job. Like we were talking biomechanics, so it was fine. Everybody's fine. Even my boss had it on.
That's great.
But he was a few seconds. I was a few seconds behind you, apparently, because Taylor would hear you and be like, "Oh yeah," and then he was a few seconds behind me, so I would get up and I'd be like, "Fuck yeah," like on the call.
That's great. Okay, so cool. So Canada now the men play today.
Yes, men are playing
semifinals
right now. Canada is playing Finland as we speak.
At this moment, it's in between. I'm actually watching it. In between the second and third period, they're down 2-1.
Oh no!
But U.S. plays next.
U.S. plays at 3 o'clock today. Yeah.
Is your calendar blocked?
I'm coaching, but we'll have it on.
It'll be on the TV.
Yeah.
Cool. So we hope the final, it'll be tomorrow, right? The gold medal match?
No, gold medal is Sunday.
Sunday, that's right.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to watch U.S. versus Finland in the gold medal match.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Olympics has been great.
Another one, cool one. So Sarah she was an ice skater growing up. So like every night, like she's like, we're watching this.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the women, we haven't won gold since like 2008, or I guess 6 is the right math. So it's been 20 years.
02, 06, 02. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been 20 years since the women won the gold medal, individual.
Mm-hmm.
And so we watched it last night, and it was actually kind of funny. They do those like backstories before they come out and skate. And I was being silly. I was like, I don't want to watch a stupid backstory. I just want to watch this girl skate and see how she does. And her backstory is actually kind of cool. She made it to the Olympics last time, 4 years ago, but was 16 and retired. She's just like not happy. She's just like, the coach even said like she was great at like doing what she was told to do. She did great, and she would always knock it out of the park. But like 16, you don't really want to be told what to do. And she's from Oakland, and like now she's like being herself, like on the ice. She's like super loose, super just having fun. She's got like striped hair.
Yep.
She's got whatever this thing is.
Whatever
pierced.
that is. Yep.
And she went out there and like we watched it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I saw the routine. I was like very impressed.
Yeah. And it's one of those like I joke a lot about like how much judging involved if it's a sport or not, but very clearly she was the best.
It's so tough, man. We ranted off podcast, about I watched I think they call it rhythmic dance is the technical name. So like there's figure skating where it's much more of an emphasis on her, doing axles, and that's what her and Ilya do and everything. And then there's I think it's like ice dance is what it is. And we have the American couple that was competing against like the French couple and all the controversy about that. And like I'm not here to complain about that result or whatever. It's just highlights the problem with subjectivity. Like it feels ridiculous to me that a judge from the country of the person competing could have input. And I know it's supposed to balance out because like, everybody's got a say. Right. But it almost feels like, hey, everybody but that person gets a say.
Right. That's an easy fix.
In this one. And then, I guess like, if US has a dog in the fight, they'll rate them really low.
Right.
But then they won't be able to score for you. I don't know.
That's the issue with the system.
Maybe it's a sum zero game. I don't know. But yeah, I don't love those. And they're incredible. Like it was very clear. They're very talented, just like she is, and we can't do that. We can't even pretend to do that, even though we're going to try later.
We can't do it on ground.
Yeah. But the subjectivity involved is just like, hey, you're just judging execution of these known moves. And it feels a little silly and tough.
Yeah, I agree.
As opposed to, what if it was simply, hey, you either did, I don't know. I guess I would prefer it was binary. Hey, you either did the quad or you didn't.
Yeah, and I think that's like some of the things they've done is like the judges know the routine they're going to do.
Yes, yeah. They have to tell them, and like gymnastics, they kind of codify it. By like level of difficulty. So I get that, but it's still, I don't know.
But that's only half the score, right? Because then the other half is
like style.
That's the one thing.
Execution. Really.
And Sarah was saying this is like, or even the announcer said it, which the announcers, it looks like they're on the Hunger Games thing, but whatever. But they're like, it's whoever makes it look the easiest.
You're right. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get that, but like in a weightlifting meet, like, okay, if I lifted 1 more kilo than you, but it looked really hard, I still did more.
Maybe that's just something they know. Cause like I could tell you like, nope, that was the easiest, from.
That's true.
Like, and it's because I've spent basically life doing weightlifting, and I'm sure those judges feel that way.
So we should just trust the judges.
I can't do that.
Trust the men in charge.
They've proven they can't be trusted with their scoring. So
yeah. But again, the Olympics have been fun to watch. How many more days we got left? It's
not so the men's hockey final. It's at 8 a.m. our time because it's the last day. Because like closing ceremonies are that day. So people are complaining about it being 8 a.m. Like 8 a.m. isn't like super early, but it is like for primetime television. It feels a little silly. That's even like 2 p.m. Italian time. Like you wouldn't go to the final of any sporting event at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, but they got to do it.
That's when it is. That's when it goes.
Closing ceremonies are that day, and they got to get on with the Paralympics. So yeah.
Selfishly, I love that it's 8 a.m. I can wake up, watch the game, and then have my full day.
So that'll be all right.
Okay. Well, cool. So a couple more days have been fun. Rant number 2. Harles, you have seen Toy Story, right? 1.
Have you seen Toy Story 1? What's it about?
What's his name?
Okay. What are the two main character toys? Buzz, yep. Yep. Okay. That's good. That's good.
That's
all
solid.
right. That's good enough.
That's good enough. So I'm watching the Olympics last night,
Okay.
and there's a commercial for Toy Story 5.
Oh, jeez.
But like, as watching it, I got like nostalgic. Like, oh yes, like okay, June 27th when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, let's go to the movie theater and like get some popcorn and watch this. That'll be fun. But as it gets deeper into this preview, you know I'm going? Yeah, dude. Woody's hat is not on his head for whatever reason.
Why do you know about this? Okay, I don't.
My man Woody got a bald spot. They gave Woody a bald spot to show his age.
That's pretty funny.
I don't want my childhood.
It could be from wearing, like
Wearing the hat too much.
like I don't remember which one it was now. If it was 2 or 3, where Woody's a rare collectible, and they paint him and spruce him up or whatever. Like it could just be maybe he just needs a little polishing on the top of the head or whatever. But yeah, that's how old that is.
It just made me feel because that was the original Pixar movie, right?
I don't know the exact year, but it's got to be 30 years now.
Yeah, because like that was
from first one. Yeah,
that was a staple.
Yeah, it's important. Like I don't know how I feel about 5. I'm not against it. I guess I did not see 4. I ended the trilogy like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
that was it. 3 was like heart wrenching.
Yeah,
it's actually like very like up kind of feelings. With Andy moving on and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Story 3 20 years later. But so I ended it there. I'm no idea what's going on in the
I haven't seen 4. We were chatting about it in my group chat, and Frank said the same thing. It's like, nope, it ended at 3. There's no more after that.
That was cinema. Like that was great.
Yeah.
All down to like, oh, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Yeah. That was the right place to end it.
Yes.
So.
Speaking of toys, so y'all haven't heard of Punch.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who Punch is. So Punch is this monkey. And I do not know enough about this, but I know the baseline of it.
This is a celebrity?
No, it's a real monkey.
Yeah, that's right. That's a celebrity monkey.
Sure. I assume it's a boy. It may be a girl. I have no idea.
Okay.
Its mother kind of like disowned, like pushed Punch away. Like, nope, you are not my child. Somehow Punch ended up with a stuffed toy.
Okay.
And like, he's just cozying up to it. Like, this is my mom now. And then like yesterday, another one of the monkeys in the pack was mean to Punch. And he just runs away and grabs his little stuffed animal and just like curls up next to it for protection because he doesn't have his mama who disowned him. Punch just stole my heart.
Punch got to get out of there.
Yeah. Now I tried to show Sarah and she's like, I can't. She won't even look at it. Yeah. So during your free time, look up Punch.
I don't know that I want to be more sad. I don't know that I want to be more sad than I already am than with how things are in everything. Like I'm not gonna go political, like actually, but everything just keeps it was so funny. I was seeing a change to a fucking like frequent flyer mile program. Like one of the, I'm not gonna name the airline or whatever, but basically they were like, yep, they're making revisions to this year where they're eliminating this and this and this. Somebody, this was on a Reddit forum for that airline, and they're just like, why does this everything just keep getting worse?
Nothing.
Like every year, it's just like, oh, let's just take the rewards program that was perfectly fine and there were no issues with, and let's make it make that worse and shittier, and then let's make everything more expensive, like not just normal inflation, like significant inflation.
That's a good point. When's the last time something's gotten better?
Even Duke energy rates.
Oh, yeah.
Duke energy rates they're basically on pace to like put us in the poor. Like if they continue at these current increases, like basically every 4 years, we'll legitimately be struggling to pay like normal people. We'll have a very hard time doing it. So yeah,
it's not great.
I don't know if that's a real. It feels real.
Yeah. I mean, like,
It feels like everything keeps getting worse.
it's weird because, like, me and Sarah talk about it a lot because we went from a home we purchased in 2011 that was very affordable. And, like, hey, we even say, like, do we regret making the decision to upgrade our home? Because, like, things would be so much easier in that home financially.
Yeah.
And it's like we're in a median-sized home, median pay, like, it's all average.
Yeah.
It's like we both have average jobs, paid, everything. And it's just like shit's hard, and we don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
can't imagine.
Can't
like,
imagine changing that. Exactly.
That's So I don't. Yeah, it sucks.
Like groceries are expensive. Like
Yeah, everything, literally everything. Like we talk about here at the gym. Like every time there's like we need to fix something or upgrade something, it's like. We used to joke it's always $100. Now it's always $1,000.
It's always $1,000. Yeah.
Every bill's like, oh, we had a plumbing issue, $1,000.
Yeah. Well, I wish it was only $1,000.
It was $1,800.
Yeah, that would have been really cool if it was only that.
Have you got the roofing one yet?
No, I'm sure that'll be
That would be insane.
that'll be tens to based on roofs similar in this area, like between probably $30,000 and $80,000.
Yeah, I was
maybe 100, but
my guess was gonna be 35.
Yeah.
But I don't have any clue.
which fortunately that one's not on us
Right.
for once.
Yeah.
But
But it's
yeah,
still insane.
it feels that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure the listener feels that way too.
Yeah, yeah.
If you feel like things are getting better, comment. Give us some positivity.
Tell us what we're doing
Like,
wrong.
That's not a fuck this administration comment.
Yeah.
Like this has been like percolating for years. It's not like a new thing.
it's just been the trend.
Just kind of been a trend. I couldn't like put it to one place or anything like that. I couldn't be like, oh, it all started on 9/11 or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know that that's true.
A lot of people say COVID was the time.
And probably or it just exposed like it accelerated problems that were there and led to us to where we are now. But I don't know.
It feels like the cost of everything has been like exponential growth when the pay increases. Like it's like, no, you always get a 3% bonus. It's kind of like the standard rate. And then it's been exponential for what everything cost.
Well, yeah, they printed a lot of money. So a lot of money got out there. So salaries did go up,
Yeah.
but then accommodating for that, with increased salaries, increased cost of production, increased prices. So I don't know.
Yeah. Let's get to our topic
Don't
now.
have a solution for that. Good luck, everybody. Good luck having a kid, Harley. Do all that stuff.
Yeah. Dude, like knowing like what we paid for our wedding and we kept it on the small end, like
You told me how much your DJ costs because I asked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that, man. You're out of your mind.
dude, shout out
Sorry.
DJ Banks.
Sorry.
He was so good.
No way.
He's so good.
Absolutely no way.
When I asked Sarah, I was like, hey, I can't remember what we paid for him. What was it? She's like, oh, I can't remember. We look it up, but no regrets. He was the best. Like he was really
All
good.
right. Well, that's good. It's good that you have that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have that feeling about my wedding.
Yeah. We
Like
wanted
you should get what you want.
Yeah. And we talked a lot about like just doing a courthouse wedding and like we were all for that. But like we want to have a party. And so we plan on having it very low key. We definitely tripled our budget. But like, like we're both a little like got a little taste for the bouginess.
Sure.
As do you.
Yeah. Yep.
And so
just for me, not for me and 75 people,
we only had 50 guests.
Okay.
Well, 49 because you didn't show up.
That's true. So I saved you some money.
No, Janice came instead of you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we upgraded.
My bad. I was in Peru.
Yeah.
I was legitimately I was like, well, I can't not. And it wasn't like, oh, come home a day early either. It was like smack dab in the middle of it or something like that, unfortunately.
It's just a good opportunity for me to harass you.
Yeah. No, I am sad I missed it.
Okay, so the topic. So this, like, I had this thought, and I kind of like wanted to pick your brain on it because what fitness industry, like, there are definitely trends.
Yes.
Like, what is popular, what is trendy, that is definitely a thing. And right now, what seems to be the biggest trend is the hybrid athlete.
Absolutely. Do you know if that's where the word high rocks comes from? Like, I don't know. I'm just curious.
No, so when you Google, like, look up like what high rocks means, what you used to get was nothing.
Okay.
And then someone made up the joke that it stands for hybrid rock star.
Okay. All right.
And
Sweet.
I think that started as a joke, and now it's just kind of grown into like that's what it stands for.
Because it's German, so it shouldn't really have anything to do with
Correct.
our language. And I was just curious, just because high is in it, and it would make sense. But yeah, that's I bring it up because a lot of people think that okay, that's a hybrid athlete. People
Yeah.
doing hybrid athlete training are frequently doing Hyroxes, right?
Yep.
Or when they
So
put that.
the name was developed by founders to reflect the hybrid nature of the sport.
Oh, well, is that true?
Yep.
Or
And then the original concept, it was originally intended to be called Curox, so CU, likely from cure, Latin for run, but this was changed to Hyrox following a trademark
so they did try to take advantage of that. They were those Germans were intentionally marketing. They
Yep.
were thinking like, all right, how do we get this into the Anglosphere?
Yep.
Because I doubt there's a German word for Hyrox. You know, like I doubt that that's a thing. This is very much something meant to be international, right? So.
Yep. And it's very funny that like it does say like while hybrid rockstar is the popular interpretation, some sources suggest blah blah blah. But yes, the hybrid is definitely the
But yeah, it could mean a lot of different things.
and like there's saying here that rocks is like for rocks, ROCKS, strength. So it's supposed to be run and strength was the original.
Oh, okay. So they were
Even though it's not a strength sport.
so they started trying to be fancy.
Yeah.
And like do Latin roots, and then they were like, "Oh shit, no one cares.
No one cares.
We gotta make a real name."
But yeah, so that's what's in style now, and what triggered this thought is it's attracted a lot of people that enjoy bodybuilding, and they're taking bodybuilding and then just adding running to it, and there's gonna be a lot of like painting with a broad brush with this topic. So if any of the listeners feel like, no, that's not me, cool, it's not you. But it just seems to be a trend. So
do you think we can define what hybrid training is? Or no? Or is it pointless? It incorporates too much.
I think on the baseline, it is you lift weights and you also train some type of endurance running, whatever. It doesn't have to be running.
Why is hybrid athletics different from CrossFit?
Why? Because I see CrossFit as, I would almost say, even though the sport of CrossFit is more broad than the sport of Hyrox, but hybrid athlete is more broad than CrossFit, if that makes sense.
So unpack that.
I would say CrossFit is a type of hybrid athlete.
Okay.
Or I would say it's the premier hybrid athlete.
So you would just say hybrid athlete could be anything as long as you're doing multiple modalities.
Yes.
But CrossFit, as expansive as it is still, bucketed a little bit under that umbrella.
Yeah, because I would say like someone that's like someone who is a rower, like a competitive rower, but they also implement strength training is a hybrid athlete.
Or are they just a rower doing strength training?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just really a term that can mean anything you want. That's what I'm getting from
this. It's such a broad definition.
Okay. It feels to me like, because we didn't use this term when CrossFit was big, right? You just, I do CrossFit. And I guess that's like a branding company thing or whatever. It specifically seems to be endurance plus lifting. Like I remember there was a popular influential fitness person a while ago, and his whole stick was, I do ultras and I can deadlift 600 pounds, and it's like, okay. And so like, that was like, I am a hybrid athlete. I'm doing hybrid training. And so that's like the extreme ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
But it's funny because that's literally referenced in like the CrossFit, what is fitness. It's like, we talk about it all the time, like the marathon plus in that case, 500-pound deadlift,
Then I'd say in my experience with a decade in CrossFit, within like the average gym goer, we were never running.
Yeah, and CrossFit seemed to get a following from people who are like, I do want to be fit and I do want to work hard, but I do not like running.
Yeah, and we
sort of thing.
Like at my gym, we would
anti-run fitness club.
Yeah, yeah. We would have runners, and they would like when we did randomly have like a running workout like once a week, they'd smash it on the runs because like they were runners. But the person that like just did CrossFit would always struggle during the runs.
So what I'm getting at is like, it's not new.
Correct.
Right. I guess it can kind of mean anything. But why is it exploding now? I have a very, very specific answer to that. I want to ask you why you think it's popular right now.
Why? Okay.
Why is it the current trend?
Why is hybrid athlete the current trend?
Yeah.
Man, damn, I want to get it right.
No, you don't need to get it right.
I know,
This
but I
is-
want to get it right.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess because social media and it's what looks good and fun. Ooh, I got a different answer. Can I change
What
it?
you got?
Because it's very, I don't want to say easy. It's accessible to anyone and everyone.
Accessibility is definitely big, especially the Hyrox version of it, right? Like we've talked about, it's like Hyrox is like lower skill CrossFit, I guess. Like doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that the skill demands of the movements are lower. But my answer is the same answer as why everything is worse. COVID.
COVID is what made hybrid, because like you would just lift. You got so much time.
Everybody started running.
They did.
Everybody. I think not that running hasn't been popular in the United States specifically. We basically invented jogging. Like jogging was a phenomenon here that grew, and became a worldwide thing. And not that people haven't been running or doing track, but like COVID, people wanted to get outside. They wanted to stay active. And guess what was the easiest thing to do?
Go for a run.
Just go for a run, because you literally need no coaching to run. It's better if you know how to run, and it's better if you do it with people. And they started doing that. They started. How big are these run clubs? Never ever have run clubs been as large as they are right now. And so I think we're at the curve now, several years removed, and you're seeing it. That's why Hyrox is exploding. Is like, one, they're probably at the point is like, all right, we've only been running and I'm getting a little bored. Like I need to try some other things. Or, hey, my running isn't getting any better from just running. What are some things I can do and explore? And I think we hear that a lot from runners who come in. Is why they're interested in Hyrox, is like, okay, let me do these other things to help. It almost always is like, how does this help my running? Not how do I become a Hyrox athlete? And then they try it out and they're like, oh, okay, this is fun and whatnot. What do you think of that?
I think that's very true, because like a couple of things I thought of was the years of running a CrossFit gym. Running a run club was never on my mind. Like it never crossed my mind to think about doing that.
Yeah.
And then 2020, when I started here, within how many months did we start the first run club? Like it was pretty early on.
Early on.
Yeah. So it was like, because it was like what everyone was starting to do. It's like, all right, you go to a brewery, you go for a run, you drink a beer afterwards. Like, that was what you did.
So not new, but more popular at that time for sure. And we're kind of seeing these effects of it now. It's like people that weren't running, people, they might've been doing CrossFit, or they might've been in any one of the boutique, the what's that thing called? Orange Theory, something like that. Those are fine, but running definitely got a lot bigger and more people interested in it. So that's what I feel. I'm not saying it's going to collapse now that we've exposed it or anything like that. Like just things come in waves.
Yeah.
And this one's continuing to peak. Like every day it's getting bigger.
They just sold tickets for New York City. Hyrox yesterday was general public access. 30,000 tickets gone.
How many? How long?
Oh, I mean, like it's hard to know the exact time because there was an issue with the website.
Yeah.
Probably because there was like 50,000 people on there. But they're sold out.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, COVID, for making everything worse and making running popular.
You've been running.
Like I said, everything's worse. All right. So hybrid training, we don't have a definition. Maybe that's why it's popular. Who knows? But it is popular. It's probably here to stay for a little while, right? Everything waxes and wanes. That's okay. So if you're going to do hybrid training, what are people do? I guess it depends on what their brand of hybrid is.
Right.
Like what are the actual goals? But let's use it through the most common one, right? Which is doing something like a Hyrox. So an endurance-based event. And I'll say that like that's a distinguishing thing. Like running is a way bigger component. And I would say like other than elite CrossFitters, endurance demands of Hyrox are way higher than your casual CrossFit goer. Like just think about how much more endurance it takes to do a simulation than it took to do any workout you would have programmed at your CrossFit affiliate.
Right.
Like other than Murph, right?
Yeah. That was the one endurance workout we did a year.
That'd be it. And it'd be 2 miles versus 8K. So half as much running basically.
Yes, which is kind of insane when you think about it. Like if you compared my programming now versus then, is like in CrossFit, you very outside of Murph and like some special workouts over 20 minutes. Never.
That's the whole sweet thing about it.
That's the whole sweet thing. But now it's like under 20 minutes.
What are you talking about?
What is that?
Yeah.
So it's like completely flipped.
Oh, everything's worse. Okay. All right. So if let's use the Hyrox thing. Okay, this is what your hybrid athlete is training for the most part. It's usually something like that: running, lifting. Got it. All right. What's going on with how people are preparing for that?
So what I think is happening, I think there's a lot of people who their background is like, hey, I just lift weights to look good. Like they're just going for aesthetics, which is very, very okay and very cool. Like you look good. But I don't think that always results in better performance. So it's just training for aesthetics versus performance. I think there's a high, again, this isn't everybody, there's a high emphasis put on to hypertrophy versus like, hey, this is an endurance sport. And like outside of peak endurance, the next biggest thing in my opinion is muscle endurance, strength endurance. So I think there's like a gap missing there. So like what is happening for a lot of people versus what should be happening. I think there's a little bit of missed gap there.
Do you think, I mean, I'm not trying to rag on it. Something that came to mind is people who traditionally lift are just doing it for aesthetics. Like people that don't lift for performance, a strength sport, do it for aesthetics. Most people who work out do it for aesthetics, right?
Yeah, which is
so it really easily folds in. Like, are people doing Hyrox because they want to be a Hyrox, medalist? Basically, most of them no.
Most of them
no. They're
which
doing
is very okay.
Totally okay. So yeah, it'd be really natural if your whole thing is, I just want to look good.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I use the lifting model where you just want to look good, right? Yeah. So, but what's problematic with that?
Problematic, you are leaving a lot of abilities on the table. Like if you're if you're like rarely going to like, hey, we're working a focus on strength or power instead of just building mass, then you're on race day, you're going to be missing that power and strength that you could be capable
so you
of.
actually do this. I don't, why do you need strength and power? Like even maybe take the pro out of it. Yeah. That doesn't apply to most people.
Yeah. Because on every single station, it's about the ability to stay moving with a light to moderate load for around 3 minutes. So it's not just, so you don't need peak strength because nothing's really truly that heavy, but you need to be able to push hard consistently for 3 minutes. So improving muscle endurance is, again, in my opinion, the second most important thing here.
Muscle endurance, so that ability to do that 3 minute thing.
Yep.
So playing devil's advocate, bodybuilding is usually done with higher repetitions. So like it is kind of, like, they're not usually training it with the intention of it being a muscular endurance thing, but it's like, minimum 10, usually maximum 20 reps.
Yep. Something
Something like that. Do you think that doesn't have a place for?
Oh, it definitely does have a place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You're just saying maybe it's not the only?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like making that like the main and only thing.
Okay. Like they don't train lifting in any other way.
Correct.
More or less.
Yeah, it's basically just hypertrophy and like that 10 to 20 rep range constantly. And the loads never get quite heavy enough to where.
Yeah, they don't really change. It's just about. So, okay, they're training in a way where the loads are pretty light and they'll do it for those reps. And their only real goal maybe is to get it done faster.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't even think that. I think they literally just focus on like, hey, I got 3 by 12 of whatever the movement is with like an unprescribed rest, and then just sit around and then get to the next set.
It's lack of intensity.
Yeah.
Lack of intention. Lack of
and that's where that's why CrossFit blew up, was because it removed that aspect of that weighting. It's like, no, I want you to get those same sets done, but as quick as possible.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think you're an endurance sport and you need to have incredible cardiovascular endurance to maintain the effort for the entirety of the race. So like your biggest pyramid, like you guys do a lot of zone 2 work, even though you're never in zone 2.
Never.
In a high, right? Like never, even from the start. Like you're probably warmed up and you're so hyped that you're automatically at least in zone 3.
For
sure. But why do you do zone 2 work?
That's your base.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like you're creating your endurance and cardiovascular base because you can't train at that intensity all the time.
Correct.
So you're creating this huge base of zone 2 foundational work. It's really great for a bunch of scientific reasons, like, expanding the number of capillaries you have, increasing the number of mitochondria at the cellular level, all these things that lead to those endurance adaptations. So I'm going to say, as the strength and power guy, like, you can't get stronger training submaximal loads all the time.
Yeah.
So what I see is legitimately people struggling with the wall ball because to them it is a strength movement or it's 100 reps, right? Yeah. But they're really only good at doing 20-ish reps tops because of how heavy it is for them to do it. I don't think they have a lack of strength endurance.
Yeah.
I think they've been training strength endurance, but they have a lack of strength.
I see what you're saying.
So I'm with you. That's why I'm saying, like, you can't just train 3 by 12 or however many, 12 to 20 reps all the time. If the actual loads, this is way more problematic, and you see it when people do get to pro and try pro weights with how much slower they are because it's just too challenging. Yeah. Right. So I'm with you. I think you need to expand your base of cardiovascular ability by doing zone 2. You also need to expand your base of strength and power. It's weird to think that, like, when we do strength and power, we think of it as the top of the pyramid because it's the least amount of reps and it's for a 1RM. But in hybrid training, it's probably your base.
Right.
If you don't have this big expansive base of absolute strength ability, when you start doing lighter weights for more repetitions, like you need to in your sport, it's way more problematic. And that doesn't mean you never train that way. You're doing it all the time. You're doing the fucking If you're doing a sim or you're doing a high rocks workout, you're doing that all the time.
Yep.
But you should train to widen the base of your pyramid. In this case, the ability of your body to contract forcefully. So, like, more load.
I always associate with, you said it one time, I cannot remember what you were describing it to, but we were talking about running and you were talking about having like an excess of speed.
Yes.
So So like, say we're talking about a 1 mile or 5K pace or whatever. If you can't sprint that speed, you're not going to be able to run that speed for a mile or whatever. So like, you need to have that excess speed. Yeah,
it's speed reserve is the concept they call it. So it's the same exact thing. You want to have a strength reserve. It's enough. We talk about this in weightlifting. You want to have enough of a strength reserve to where, because weightlifting movements are power movements. They're not actually strength movements. They're really closely related, closer than doing 100 wall balls is to a 1 rep max back squat. But it's still like, you need so much strength reserve. Your ability to produce force literally determines everything you do. And after that, it's energy system development. Like, how well is your body developed in that specific energy system you're going to dip into? But if you don't have the strength to stand up or do it very well, running is probably not going to go very well. Right. You only need so much strength to stand for a continued period of time / jog / run for a continued period of time. But, when you get into the wall balls or the farmer's carry or the sled or anything, if you don't have enough strength, like contractile potential, the ability to produce a lot of force really easily, it's going to be pretty tough. Yeah. So that's why, strength train.
And I think that's kind of the beauty of the sport too, is that you've got to have that excess strength, but there is like probably a point where you have too much. Now, this is not very common in the sport.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you're no one's winning a high rocks weighing 225.
No, it'd be so that was the other, when you said you wanted to talk about this, that was the other thing I thought about. Bodybuilding style training has that hypertrophy focus, right? So do you want to tell the folks what hypertrophy is, who may not know?
In short, it is adding muscle mass.
Exactly. And so, and that's what makes it hilarious. So just a little fun fact for all the people out there who say, I don't want to get big like you, I just want to get toned. Well, toning is the creation of muscle tissue. Not necessarily creation, expanding of muscle tissue. It's actually pretty hard to create new muscle fibers. So you are increasing the cross-sectional area of the muscle by doing damage to it and letting it recover. Usually this is just literally like water going into it. See, that makes the muscle bigger. But cross-sectional area does improve your ability to be stronger, and that's good. So it's a really easy way. So if you're getting toned, you're adding muscle and getting bigger and bulky because you didn't have really any muscle before. So just a little fun fact.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
For somebody who needs to move really quickly to have added bulk, added tone, if you will. I'm just going to say added tone instead of added bulk now.
I got too much tone on my body.
To rage at people, but you don't want the excess weight because you got to run 8K. You got to run 8K fast. No elite runner, like marathon runner, has a lot of weight.
No.
They're also not as tall as you usually, even though they have longer limbs and whatnot. So bodybuilding training is designed to maximize not just like strength endurance qualities, but hypertrophy outcomes. So like you need so much muscle tissue to accomplish tasks, and it helps. But if you only train that way, you're actually toning too much. You are getting too big,
right? And
you're making it harder to have performance related athletic goals.
Yep. I think that's where like my concern came from, was like, oh, you're spending all that time doing bodybuilding, getting bigger, but it's going to hurt your performance. Like, you're already, some of these guys are just jacked.
Yeah.
It's like you could be using that time to do something more specific to improve an actual weakness versus just continuing to add mass.
Yeah.
But again, if your goal is to just look really good, keep doing it. But if your goal is to like become a better high rocks racer, you may need to shift what the...
Yeah, it's another form of inefficiency.
Yeah.
Just the way that, like, you would say in high rocks, it's relatively easy to get strong enough.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't continue expanding your strength reserve once you're strong enough.
Yeah.
Very much. You wouldn't contribute a lot of training time to it.
Right.
Because you need to spend so much training time on that zone 2 stuff. It's so much time, right? Like doing it takes up physical hours in your week. Strength training is actual strength and power training is cool because you don't really make larger muscles by lifting heavy weight. Like, honestly, like we do stuff here, don't get me wrong, we'll have muscular people and we'll do things for reps, but when your repetitions are low, you're not sending a signal to the body to do hypertrophy, to do traditional hypertrophy. You're sending a signal to the body. It looks like hyperplasia occurs now, which is the actual creation of new muscle tissue. We weren't sure if that was possible before, like new muscle fibers specifically. We used to think it was just, I'm just making existing muscle bigger. Looks like that happens, but on a limited basis. You don't just, like I said, expand the water that's in the tissue that's there. You're training your body neurologically to be more efficient. So most of your strength training adaptations are your nervous system working better and intramuscular coordination. So that just means different muscles accomplishing the task better. And that is tied to that nervous system improvement. So if you do strength training, you get the benefits of moving the sled is easier, or carrying these things are easier, or doing the wall balls easier without creating a lot of extra tissue and a lot of extra bulk or weight. So it's actually the way you would want to expand this base. Yeah. Okay. When you need to train like energy system ability, or if, maybe you are lacking, like a tendon or ligament is struggling, you do need to do some like higher rep stuff. Yeah, you could do that. But probably most of your strength training, if you're a hybrid athlete, might seem, ironic, but you got to go heavy to not get really heavy physically while you're doing your sport. Yeah,
because you look at the guys that are winning, they're not big.
Not at all.
But they're actually strong.
Sure.
Then.
So if that's how we can train this strength and power dominant way instead of only bodybuilding routines that are more, they're more efficient volume wise. There's less volume. It's pretty fatiguing to train strength. So it'll be hard to like do a long run after or something like that.
Yep.
It'd be hard to have good strength and power after doing a long run.
But here's a good reason to do that, because we have a fancy term for it, compromised running. So that's part of what the race is being able to run while you're compromised.
Yeah, so there you go. Do heavy, fatiguing strength training, and then go out and run. It'll be more difficult, but you got to manage your running economy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's weird because we call the run the recovery. So it's like Our goal is to get as fast as we can, but while we're
you.
still recovering while running.
Thank you. So that, yeah, don't never do high reps, but don't make it the bulk of your non-event prep training. I guess.
As the strength guy, what percentage would you do it? Because I know what I do, but I'm curious what you think would be ideal.
Strength and power, like, yeah, you got to be at least 80%.
Yeah.
Essentially, anything below 80% is basically a waste of time. For the most part, honestly. Like, I'd say even especially for your guys' sport, like that 60 to 70%, you're doing enough of that in a lot of your other modalities of training. Like, warm up, but get out of there and actually get to 80% and above.
Yeah.
And spend, whatever reps you can that day.
That's what I was going to say too, is because to exactly what you just said is like when you're doing the classes or the workouts, you're doing hypertrophy.
Yes.
To an extent, because you're doing, like yesterday we had 3 rounds with 50 wall balls each round.
Yep.
Like that's high reps,
that's
low volume,
high rep stuff.
Low weight.
You're going to be doing, that's probably, I don't know, 30% or something like that, but you're doing a lot of reps. So just leave it alone. An issue I can see is these styles of training, because they're opposite, interfering with each other. And you just talked about compromise running. So how do you think, do you think it's worse if we were doing strength training than bodybuilder style training? Or
the runs would be worse?
Like that, this interference effect, essentially. Like would doing bodybuilding training, strength focused training instead of strength focused training, hypertrophy style lifting instead of strength style lifting, which would be a greater interference effect?
I do not know, but I've had what I think would be more. I think like power and strength would interfere more.
Really?
Maybe it's because like I'm just thinking about like, hey, I just did something heavy. Now I gotta go for a run.
Yeah, it depends. I feel the bodybuilding style more because you're using more similar energy systems, and you actually usually do more muscular damage that way. So you're damaging the tissue that needs to go out and do this.
That's a good point. So instead of so like strength and power, it's like the muscles are more fatigued, but they're not as damaged.
You're fatigued.
You're fatigued.
Like you're neurologically fatigued, and like the musculature to a point. But you use an energy system that doesn't conflict with the energy system you're going to use in your endurance training at all.
That makes sense.
All energy systems get used at some degree at all times, but primarily. Whereas you start doing bodybuilding style, you're getting a much greater metabolic cost, and the damage you're doing to your tissues is higher, your actual soft tissue. So it's, I'd say, again, another point for strength and power training. Like weightlifters are like never sore. Right. For the most part.
Well,
it's what?
These squat days, they've been a little complainy.
With the singles? They've been complaining. But they're not sore. They're achy.
The threes.
They're old and achy.
The threes.
Wish to be sore?
That's fair.
But weightlifters are frequently not sore, and it's just, to be honest, they're not doing things that have a lot of damage to the tissue or a huge metabolic cost. So, being sore is kind of a nice feeling when they get to do that. But you avoid it and you work on this specific kind of like 5 or less reps, usually 3 or less reps, so you don't get into that issue. With bodybuilding style training, you're going to do that.
It's always in there
a lot more. So you're going to train that, and then you're going to go out and do it longer. Also.
And they also, like bodybuilding style, there's a lot more like, hey, we're doing eccentrics all the time, and so there's even more added on top of it.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Training specificity. Wow.
Specificity.
Did I say that right? Training specificity matters. What were the warm-up phrases we were trying to say? What was your uncle's? Popsies. One smart feller, he felt smart. 2 smart fellers, they felt smart. Oh, see, I crushed it. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of what we've been talking about. Like what you train for is what you get. So if you're training to get big, you're going to get good at getting big.
Yeah, I think, specificity means a lot of different things. We talked about the energy systems just here a second ago. You guys are going to use energy systems that are in endurance, required for cardiovascular performance and endurance. But specificity can also mean the movement pattern that you're doing. So it's like, it'd be an argument for why. Is there a snatch movement in high rocks? No, really think of all the movements. I'm not being like, of all the movements in high rocks, what is closest to a snatch?
I mean, it's got to be a wall ball, right?
Wall balls up and down. Maybe the way that people do the rope, because they kind of use their whole body and tend to like drive into the ground and then sort of triple extend, right? Like that way. So those would be the closest. But what I'm getting at is like no movement there is really closely related. Right. So like a squat movement's pretty close to what you would do on a sled push and a wall ball, but that's about it. You know, so you should train with some level of specificity in just literally the movements that you're doing. Right. So like when you're doing a class, you don't have snatches. Right. Because you don't do them. Right. And they don't really help. Even though I'm sitting here telling you, get powerful, get strong. Yeah. Don't use that. It's probably not going to help you very much. That would be my other thing on bodybuilding movements. Traditionally, they're isolation movements, right? They're single muscle group to failure. So we already talked about all those bad things, but there's not a single muscle group movement in high rocks.
Right.
Like the closest would be a farmer's carry, I guess.
Right, but you're still moving while you hold it.
You're still moving your whole body. That's a whole body thing,
Dude,
right?
those suck more than you think.
I'm sure they suck. When you're really tired, your legs are feeling wobbly, you got to pick this thing up and like grip hard. What grip gives out, it's not really up to you. You know, it just is what it is. So bodybuilding style training is going to encourage you or push you to, if you're following that sort of philosophy, to do machines, to do isolation. So we've only talked about like reps and sets, but also make sure your movements are specific, right? Don't be like, oh yeah, like I saw this bodybuilder do, I don't know, a back day, so I'm just going to fry my back. Yeah. That's a problem. You're isolating one muscle group when really they're working together all the time. That's probably the most important thing for a hybrid athlete and most similar to like our sport. You're using your whole body with everything you do. And
that's probably like the biggest highlight is like, okay, you know what the race is, you know what you're training for. The further away you get from that, the more or the less useful your time is. Yeah. Like, yes, you can get stronger, you can get bigger, like whatever, and it may make you better, but it's going to be slower progress.
Yep.
Yeah.
So another point for not bodybuilding.
What about recovery? And that goes to what you said about being sore.
The conflicting recovery, you're just double dipping in the same spot. You'll have, if you're doing a bunch of muscle damage before and then you do a bunch of endurance training, you're going to have a bad time. You're probably not going to recover very well. So like people say that, you know, it's true. There's still an interference effect in doing heavy weightlifting and then doing endurance training. Like, cause like they're both hard really. And so they're kind of butting heads against each other. That's true of anything you do. You're going to butt heads more. Yeah. And it's going to be more difficult to recover. It's going to be, you'll struggle to recover or you'll keep going and you'll probably be at a higher risk of an injury, just to be quite honest. Like he'll be like, okay, I'm going to keep hammering it. You know, just fucking who's going to carry the boats and all that shit. And like, you'll just end up hurting something.
Don't get me started on David Goggins. I told you how soft he was when I got to meet him.
Yes. David Goggins.
He's so soft.
Totally going to listen to this.
Dude, what if he actually did? Tag him. Don't tag him. He was actually seemed like a nice guy. Okay. Last little piece here, kind of like what should it look like, I guess, for like a better hybrid style. So strength versus hypertrophy focus. This is actually kind of a recap of what we've discussed, is that using the compound lifts, heavier loads, lower reps. So you're getting more efficiency, power, and sport performance versus like, hey, we're only training these single movements that aren't going to really help us a ton, and then that we're just looking to build size. How would you, as someone who you have some of your lifters, add in some conditioning pieces? How would you structure like tying in running with lifting?
Oh, with lifting? Oh, crap. I mean, okay. More context. Is it for my lifters or is it to be a better hybrid athlete?
Yeah. How about for a better hybrid athlete? As someone, and I know this is not your expertise. This is like not where you live. But I'm curious here, like what you would think, like if you design.
Really simply, the structure, I would just try to do strength first in a session. Your ability to have good strength and power outcomes is highly fatigable. So if you do an endurance piece when you're tired, you're not going to do well at that. And that might be my biggest gripe, I think, about high rocks or similar training plans outside of here. It's like, oh, I'm doing a strength day, and it's really just a high rock. It's really just one of your like 30-minute high rocks workouts that has lifting in it.
Right.
It's like, no, you're just doing high rocks. You're just doing a workout.
Right.
Like, it's not a strength day.
Right.
Like doing 100 wall balls didn't get you stronger, you know, in the middle of all this other stuff, you know? So I would just plan the way that your classes are, honestly, not to just plug Chris, but like, that's how you would do it. You need to do your things that are, difficult and also skillful and complex. Like that's why any strength conditioning program, you'll see typically sprints or jumps first because they're really complex and have a high neural load, and you need to try really hard and get better at them. You need to be fresh to decrease the risk of injury. They'll usually go into strength and power training. So they'll do snatches, clean jerks, squats, whatever it is, whatever their method for that is. And then they'll finish with conditioning. They aren't just like, all right, let's just do wind sprints till you're dead, you know, sort of thing. That's not very useful. Think about even football practice. You would run plays and condition last for the most part, because you're not going to run plays very well if you're already gassed. Same thing here. You're not going to get very strong if you're gassed before you do it. It's going to have a way more detrimental effect. Whereas if you work on strength training in the way that we're talking about, you might get this thing called post-activation potentiation. So it's an effect where you've tried really hard at something, and all of the parts of your body, all the muscular tissues, your nervous system is like wired like, oh, we need to be prepared to try this hard. So really you're warming up for the endurance piece. So you're going to have access to all of these parts of your body while you're doing endurance. Now, you don't necessarily want to use them 100% because you're going to fade and get tired. It'd be like sprinting out on a K. But you're just kind of going to be warm and without being really, really fatigued because you haven't done, you know, 50 plus reps, you know, at submaximal weights. So yeah, strength first if you can, or skill first even before that. I would probably then, you know, depending on what your goal is that day, maybe do some do kind of the workouts you've got like in the 20, 30 minute piece. I don't think it's such a bad idea for those to live on the same day. And then I might have like a longer separate day for like zone 2 kind of stuff. I'll put it this way. I would never put your longest run or longest endurance piece the day before you did your strength day. That wouldn't go very well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Way we kind of have it structured now is it kind of lives around Saturday, because Saturday is like our big
community
workout.
Fun. Yeah. Longer day. People didn't work.
Correct.
Right.
So it's just like a 40-minute grind. It's like the most similar feeling you're going to get 2 race days on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have like strength focus. Sunday's full rest day. Well, excuse me. Sunday, I want them to do a zone 2, but not getting a ton of.
You're trying to work them every day, man.
Friday, I try to. The ones that are competing, I tell them to take Friday as the rest day.
Okay.
So that way they're rested for Saturday for the big day. Sunday is like the recovery zone 2 run, and then restart on Monday.
Your zone 2 running the day before we do strength training.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather me do a hard run the day before that?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Like, I got to have them run sometime.
No, I mean, sports endurance. So you got to do it.
But it's definitely like doing, I mean, it's kind of basic, but like I couldn't imagine trying to do like our strength piece after the Metcon.
No way. It's a complete waste of time.
I know even for y'all too, like it's not just because like, hey, we work on snatch and clean and jerks while we do it first, but like it's the most important. You want them to be the most fresh. It's what
so you need to prioritize your Saturday, your sport. Like you need to do that and move their body through it. But yeah, I'll just structure it that way. That would be my only thing is like try to stagger out your biggest strength pieces from your longest workouts. I guess that'd be the task at hand. So
okay.
We had a caller.
Hotline.
We had a caller call in with a question about if they're doing their endurance work in the morning, can they then be successful strength training later that same day?
Okay. Answer 1, if that's the only option, yes, go for it.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. I'd rather it be done reverse. But I feel like if you have 6 to 10 hours, 10 hours, we should be in bed. But if you have 6 hours in between sessions, I think you'll be okay.
Oh, like from morning to afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's definitely not ideal.
But it depends on like how long we're talking too. And now, okay, another one too is if you're doing, if it's like a zone 2 run, if it's like an hour and a half running versus an hour and a half on like a easy bike.
It's different. It depends on what it is too.
Yeah.
I think the caller was asking about like literally just walking. for that period of time, and that would be fine.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
That's really low scale. Like, and that's why I encourage weightlifters to just walk actually, because it is so low energy. As long, like, you should be able to walk at a pace that you're basically, just dipping into the zone 2 area if you're doing a brisk walk, and that's fine. But it's not really doing any muscular damage of any kind. It doesn't have a huge, like, basically glycolytic costs. You should, at that low of a level for a sustained period of time, only be using your fat burning, oxidative system theoretically. And so as long as you then probably replenished nutritionally, because you will burn through, your body works efficiency. So it starts by using your phosphocreatine, which is your lifting energy system. Then it uses your glycogen, which is your like Metcon short-term energy system, your 800 meter, your mile, stuff like that. And finally, it's like, all right, fine. I'm going to do this for you. And it's because it's efficiency. It's because those energy systems can make everything runs on ATP. That's all movement. My mouth moving, my brain working runs on that. And those systems make ATP faster. Fat is really difficult to basically turn into ATP through the process. So it uses it last. It doesn't want to do that. So it exhausts all of that resources before it goes there. And even then, while it's using it, your body's replenishing its ability to do ATP there, and it even continues to kind of cycle that into it. So my advice would be nutritionally replenish post-endurance is immediately, so that you can be prepared to do the training you're going to do later that day, and you'll be at the least deficit.
That makes sense.
Good answer?
I think that's a good answer.
I don't know. We'll see.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Pretty good.
It was an interesting topic.
No, that was good.
I think it was pretty straightforward. You're trying to be really the terms in this is hybrid athlete. That means doing tasks that usually require your whole fucking body to work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think if we're hammering at home, like, bodybuilding splits and training, they're usually upper lower splits.
Right.
They're usually, maximum muscular damage. They're not really concerned with performance, whereas like hybrid training model, is usually about doing a specific race. It's like very performance oriented. So don't use an aesthetics based training modality for a performance based task, even if you're just really doing it to look better.
Yeah. I think that's what got me, I want to say, fired up about this topic, was seeing I went like a week straight where I just kept, my algorithm was just giving me like bodybuilders that are doing high. I'm like, cool, you look insane, you look phenomenal.
They do look great.
But I'm running this race 20 minutes faster than you.
They did. And so then let's button it up there. Don't use the programs of like elite athletes, or I guess in these cases, these aesthetic athletes who are converting now to hybrid, because that's what's in, and cashing in on your attention, to run your own training. Like, you need, like, to look like them, you probably don't have the body fat that they have, which means you need to do more endurance and lose body fat, like, bar none right there. It has nothing to do with muscle building. Like, start there, which means you probably need to do the amount of training to build up the ability to lose that body fat, which is like what majority of the hybrid training is. You're doing a lot. So you probably have to start there. And then if after you find like, hey, I've been grinding, I've been doing all this work, I've been sleeping, I've been eating correctly, and it's like, my arms aren't as big as I'd like. Yeah. Then at the end, yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Then you can start making those revisions. But really, you're just not very fit, and you're not keeping it together in the kitchen like me. Yeah. You're just fat, and you need to just run more.
Speaking of, it's Running Friday, ain't it?
Yeah, it's Fight Fascism Friday. So
let's go. Dude, you got in so much trouble for that.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting weird follows. Like, I have a new audience that's like into me for that post now. You're gonna be really disappointed.
Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
He posts once every 6 months.
This guy's on our team. It's like, I'm on nobody's team. I'm on the team of all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got Instagram famous this week too.
You got Instagram famous?
Yeah. Olivia Reeves and Hampton liked my comment.
Oh, you're when weightlifters had a conniption about trying to grow the sport.
Freaking out.
Yeah. You want to end it there? I don't know.
I got bad news to end on.
What?
Canada came back and won 3-2.
This is all like a trap.
It's
all a trap.
Canada's going to beat us
based on
Sundays, what you're saying?
Like U.S. women beat Canadian women 5-0, right? They smashed them. Smashed in round robin play.
Oh, I was like, no, they didn't.
And then we got the game we got.
Yeah.
I feel like Canada's just trapping us. Like it's like, oh yeah, we're
falling apart.
We're falling apart. Gosh, I don't know. And it's like it's going to be pretty tough. And we're just like, oh yeah, we got them. And then they're just gonna they're only playing. They're being instructed to play at like 70%.
Just barely. Make it look.
All right, just do the minimum.
Just
sort of
barely
thing. And that way, at the end, that's what I feel like going on.
So they're playing chess, but we're playing checkers.
I guess so.
Harley, I do have a question for you. So you compete. How many years in a row have you competed at nationals? Senior nationals?
Oh, senior nationals.
Two? Okay. 2 years. How, and both times A sessions or one B session, one A session? Both A sessions? My apologies. How would you feel if someone made it to compete at that? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. By doing a sanctioned USAW event, but it was not the typical guidelines and rules. So instead of 3 attempts, they have as many attempts as possible within 15 minutes, and they don't have to wear a singlet. Because they're not taking anybody else's spot, and they still have to make the lifts at that very impressive total. Cool. That's all I got. Just want to make sure. I wanted to. I think. Okay, the last thing on that. Yeah, it's a cool. It's a cool thing. What percentage of people that were upset about it have ever made a national meet? I know it's not 100%. I mean 0%.
Yeah, it was like at least the vocal critics. Like that's the thing. We talked about this over and over again, but people's willingness, I guess, to be outraged publicly once they get like the tiniest, like 1,000 people follow me, and all of a sudden I've got a opinion that's worth hearing.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be I'm just looking for the next thing to be outraged about. That's what it feels like. So yeah, some of those people, at least the comments that I saw, a lot of them were national level athletes, but it's just hating on change.
Yeah.
I didn't have it this way, so it shouldn't be this way, or some crap. Like I don't really know. I don't get it. I know the Venn diagram of people who complained about it and people who boycotted the Bad Bunny halftime show is probably a circle. So take that.
Yeah, I think as someone who will never make a national senior meet, the fact that nationals never sells out.
No.
So they're not taking anybody's spot. They're not limiting who can make it. And they still have to hit the number, and they would still have to hit more than you if you're worried about getting beat by them. If you're worried about getting beat by a CrossFitter, I don't know, get better.
Yeah, you suck.
You
know how hard it is, to actually. They have unlimited attempts in 30 minutes or whatever. They're weighing in right then, so they don't get a 2-hour replenishment.
Right, so that's actually a huge.
So they weigh whatever they weigh, and then they have 30 minutes, which is like. Have you seen weightlifters warm-up program? Have you seen Harley Creech's snatch warm-up plan?
I usually
30 minutes.
I take
alone.
I take a nap between.
Not that you can't operate at the pace. We do a lot of reps to do that way, to perform our thing. She could do this. It wouldn't be because you wouldn't be fit enough to do it. It's just like not how we do it. So it's tough. Most weightlifters will take probably about 20 to 25 minutes for their snatch, and then around the same for clean and jerk, maybe a little bit less. And so now we've got to do that in less time. Disadvantage weigh-ins. They're still judging.
Yeah. Let's say we're in the middle range. We're not going to have anyone tiny. I don't know who's competing. It doesn't matter. They're going to have to, even if they miss it 3 times, it's still a very impressive weight that they're going to have to come back and then make again.
And then make a 4th time, yeah.
The odds of that are very low. But
I took 2 things away from it. One... Really, it's probably only one thing, so I'll try to condense it. It's people feel that the Nationals seem to feel that the Nationals are not as respected as it once was. So maybe it's a nostalgia for a time when there was a time when you went to Senior Nationals and it was a really big deal, I guess. And so now we have 4 national events, and people say they're a national medalist when they're a fucking, like, you know, no offense, Masters, like Masters 50, you know, Arnold medalist or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. So it seems like they're just offended by the idea that other people are just out here making a big deal out of their accomplishments, when really their accomplishments don't belittle your accomplishments. Right. If you're a senior national medalist, like, stop being so sensitive about it. I think they just want more adoration or attention for those accomplishments. And guess what? Sport, no one cares. Sport's not there. Yes. It is what it is. Like, it'd be like lying about your High Rocks time when it's, you know, saying it's 1:16 when it's 1:30. You know, who would do that?
I don't know. I just ignore the 14 minutes of penalties
if I just ignore what happened in reality, I can just tell people that I was faster than I actually was for fake internet points. So everybody can just, like, comment on it, I guess. I don't know who'd do that, or if they would, like, work out at a gym across the street. But yeah, so I took away from it, and I think it's a little justified. We should treat senior nationals like with a level of sanctity, I guess is the only way I could put it. Like, when you do the college football national champion, that's huge scale, completely different. But it's like, it's a big deal, you know, any of those things. So I don't know how we as a sport or a governing body treat nationals with that level of, like, dignity and sanctity or whatever. I don't know what we could do. I really don't. It's in a ice skating arena. It's the best it's ever been.
It's really cool.
There's a giant scoreboard. There's stadium seating.
It's really cool.
You know, like, there's music, there's production, there's all this stuff, all this money is being spent on. People think it's just, there's just unlimited money. Like, you don't know what things cost. Like,
you're renting out that stadium
to get a video. I mean, fortunately, they have a scoreboard built in there, so you don't then have to pay a video board cost. Renting a video board is an enormous cost that they've tried to do when that isn't available. So I don't know what you could do. Do we strip club DJ it, and do we add a fog machine or whatever? Like, is that what they're looking for? I don't know. But that's the sentiment I'm taking, is that nationals itself doesn't feel as special as it once was. And maybe we've emphasized international athletes a lot more. Maybe we've disincentivized international athletes to compete there because they're so busy competing internationally that they're like, man, I don't need to do that also. Even though Olivia and Hamp competed every single one. So I don't know what they're complaining about.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it feels like the top, they show up and represent. The other one's not as much.
Yeah, in which case, that's helping out these people who are bitching because the best people aren't lifting there.
Right, yeah. So, the reason you got that bronze medal is because the 4 top didn't show up.
You're welcome. Like, let's talk about the real epidemic of you making a bigger deal out of that when the best lifters weren't there, okay? So, I don't know.
Who would celebrate getting a medal because no one else showed up in weightlifting?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Can't think of one. But anyway,
rant's over.
Rant's over now.
Yeah, it was me that celebrated.
This was a rant. This was a rant episode.
I like a good rant. I don't like this. You locking yourself away from me. I can't. Well, you're trying to actually get work done.
Oh, being over here. Yeah. We haven't had any rants this week.
I know.
I've been trying to be productive.
I know. I hate it.
Well, that's okay. We get to save the rants for this.
That's kind of true.
So it's fine. But
all right, let's go USA.
USA. All right. See you next time.
All right.